Okay, let's start with the nation. Governors under pressure over security vote spending. Election petitions cooker urges judiciary to do justice. Banks, oil firms, others flout stock exchange governance rules. Gunmen kill ASP, injured others at Lagos checkpoint. Osinbajo, Obasanjo, others pay last respects at Ajibola's burial. Tinubu won because of his superb organization, says Sagi. APC asked tribunal to dismiss AA, APP, APM petitions. An attacked Owo Catholic Church reopens months after. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Let's already talked about it on my banter, but let's just take all the, the acknowledgement of what the former CJ Chief Justice was able to achieve. So the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo was at the janaza for Prince Bola Ajibola, and he said that he was a highly knowledgeable man. He also added that his legacy will endure for a long time. He said that he was a mentor to him, as so many, and he stressed that his love for knowledge and education informed his sacrificing all of his savings and properties to establish the Crescent University, which was the first of the kind at the time. Femi Adesina, on behalf of the president, also said that his contributions to the development of our legal system cannot be overstated, serving as the AG and the Minister for Justice at a critical period in the nation's history. His patriotic inclinations, integrity, and passion for service and advancement of humanity will continue to resonate with him. And a lot of other people had plenty things to say about him.
Let's talk about the major headline. So the governments are serious pressure. Everybody's always talking about the security votes. How are they spending it? So the federal government have barred state and local governments from operating security votes with commercial banks. According to them, any governor who desires to deploy their security votes in cash must open an account, a special account with CBN, and then withdraw through CBN where it is monitored. These measures are to keep the two tiers under close watch of how they use the cash. Now, this was initiated by directive in January by the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, and they halted the withdrawal of cash, I think, until March 1st. They begged for an extension, but now I think they might have that till May 29. But the point is that the governors would not, according to this directive, wouldn't have the free hand to spend the security vote anyhow through their banks or through their commercial banks. They have to go through the CBN. Now, many Nigerians have always clamored about how this is spent, but governors are still going to be taking federal government to court on this, insisting that the money should come to them to have that control. They're going to fight it, I'm sure, but it's interesting how how we build systems going forward.
Yeah, I have this story. This is a sad story. They said armed men at the weekend killed an assistant superintendent of police and injured other police officers during an attack on their checkpoint at Ikorodu. They said the attackers also fled with 2 service rifles that belonged to the policemen. And these policemen they said they were taken unawares. This happened Friday night at a checkpoint in Emuren Junction, Ikorodu. And this happened 48 hours after gunmen killed 3 residents of Gowon Estate in Ipaja. So they're saying that they're suspecting that these killings and murders have been executed by cultists. They've been on a rampage lately. Some of them have also alleged that these cultists may be working for a notorious land grabber. There's also a story of these cultists going on rampage in Edo State. Anyways, we have the spokesperson for the police command, SP Deng, who has confirmed the incident, and he says investigation has commenced.
Another sad story about killings. Of course, many people already know that there was a major killing in Benue on Friday, Good Friday, and a particular monarch, Chief Bernard Shawa, is a traditional ruler of Niev Dick Street, Guma local government area of Benue State, and he lost 2 sons. He said one of them 25, one of them 35, said that one was just got a job as a civil servant with the state government, and he was about to settle down into marriage. Usually children bury their parents, but he is being overwhelmed by the fact that he's going to be burying his 2 sons. The attackers came in at around, according to them, 9 p.m. on the Friday, and that they set one of the houses on fire. So people rushed to sort of like rescue people from the house, not knowing that they were going to be shot at. And the attack now, they killed people in that moment, and then went to Worst case, they went to the local government education authority, primary school, Ngbam, and that was where internally displaced people were, and opened fire on internally displaced people, killing 36, injuring over 30. And then later, when they took them to the hospital, 2 others died, so they killed 38 people on a Good Friday. Like, I cannot even justify the heartlessness that would have led to people doing this kind of thing. Like, what kind of inhuman behavior would
What's
you
the
go...
motive?
What would you achieve from attacking internally displaced persons? Our heart goes out to all of those who lost their lives, and really for the chief who lost 2 sons on the same day.
Really, really sad. Okay, let's move on now to the Punch. 30 marketers seek CBN loan for 30,000 gas stations. Bishop demands justice for 41 Owo attack victims as church reopens. Bandits slash ransom for 85 Zamfara abductees. Federal state lawmakers to get 49 billion naira. FG bars online banks from accessing customers' photo contacts. Asset declaration defaulters may be removed from office. Can governors others preach love at Easter? Buhari Osinbajo NBA mourn ex-ICJ judge. That's Ajibola, Principal Ajibola. Okay, which story are you starting with?
I'll take the picture story. So Sunday, Resurrection Sunday, the St. Francis Catholic Church or Ondo State, for those of us that remember the story, about 10 months ago, that church was attacked. Many people were injured and so many more even died. And the church had been closed for the 10 months. So it was the first time it's been opened since the attack. The report says that many people were happy. In that time, the government has done a lot in rebuilding. Donations were made by individuals and government, and they have rebuilt the church. They said so many of the people were happy to see each other again. They said they hadn't seen each other since that attack. And some people were, happy to be back. Others were crying. They said that the state government is also building a memorial park, in memory of those who had passed. Some people were saying they're not happy about it. That makes them sad because it reminds them that it will remind them always of what had happened. But I think the government is has good intention, which is, we always complain that sometimes we just move on from deaths and all these attacks so easily. Sometimes I believe it's good to have this to remind us, about our loved ones. The bishop of the diocese, the Catholic Bishop of Ondo Diocese, Jude Arogundade, he's saying that it's been 10 months since this attack, and yet no arrests have been made, and we still don't have any information on those who attacked the church, and he's asking that the government should do their best to do that.
Some arrests were made by Amotekun, and there was a clash between Amotekun and the police. Please, they should side you up and not, allow some people escape.
So we're still reviewing Punch. I was going to take the major headlines. So the oil marketers have written to the federal government over the proposal to access the 250 billion naira CBN fund to be able to support them for the establishment of 30,000 gas stations. If you recall, last year, sometime in August, the federal government had commenced the implementation of the CBN 250 billion naira intervention fund for the National Gas Expansion Program. This should help to somewhat assuage the demands on petrol. So they're saying that if the federal government is able to give them access to these funds, they can therefore establish about 30,000 gas stations across the country. And that way, they feel they can support the eventual subsidy removal that plans to happen in June. However, NLC has said that they will wait for the new government to engage them on this meeting, because we had taken a story last week where it seemed that NLC had come out to say that they would not support any subsidy removal without proper funding for the modular refineries and the local refineries. However, according to the president in this report, they're saying that wasn't them. They're waiting for the new government to come in, and then they will engage. They have an official position on NLC concerning the subsidy removal.
So I have the federal government bars online banks from accessing details and data of their subscribers. So those online loan app that are on the App Store, that when you join, they then go and access your contacts and all your other details. So the federal government has moved through the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, and they registered 170 loan apps out of the 200 operating in the country. And so Google backs them up by a new policy that said that they would not allow in 4 countries, I think Pakistan, Nigeria, India, and Philippines, Indonesia, and Kenya, any of those loan app companies that do not conform to regulatory rules in those countries starting by January 31st. And they said that they have a new framework called the Limited Interim Regulatory Registration Framework and Guidelines for Digital Lending in 2022 that will take effect starting May 31st. And that requires that all those only apps who have conformed to the rules in their countries can then, be registered on the App Store and do business. And so they will no longer just have free hands into contacts or subscribers. And, those that are crude methods of recovering money will not be allowed anymore. So Google will be helping the government, and the government will be helping Google to regulate.
I want to take the story about bandits. 85 people were kidnapped in Wanzamai village of Safe local government area of Zamfara state. So the bandits kidnapped these 85 people, and they have they have reduced the ransom that they were asking the villagers to pay. They said after they realized that these villagers didn't have enough money, they slashed the ransom to 20,000 naira per person, and they gave the victims till Sunday night to pay the 20,000 naira per the 85 persons. They also mentioned that they wanted the authorities to withdraw the soldiers in the village, that they will not release the victims back into the society until the authorities have withdrawn the soldiers that they put to secure the village and paid the 20,000 naira ransom. Any family that doesn't make that payment, they said they were going to execute the victims whose family couldn't make up the money back to them. They were attacked last Thursday. The military attacked some of the bandits and killed some of them, but the bandits still have 85 persons with them kidnapped.
Okay, Daily Sun. Kuka to Supreme Court, don't disappoint Nigerians. Task Buhari, Tinubu on unity and corruption. You fought a good fight. Keep dreams alive. Priest urges Nigerians. Day of blood, sorrow in Lagos. Enugu gunmen kill police, injure others in Lagos. 10th National Assembly, groups endorse Kalu for Senate presidency. Enugu APC suspension of Nnamani Chime, others unconstitutional, says legal advisor. Buhari governors Kalu, others mourn ex-Justice Minister Ajibola, 89. Cardinal Okpaleke knocks CBN over Naira redesign. Don't allow economic political situation weigh down your faith in God. Bishop enjoins Nigerians. Easter, Oshimbajo, CGN Kalu, governors in others preach unity, love, and hope. All right. I think it was Justice Kuka, the Bishop of the Tokoto Diocese, Most Reverend Matthew Kuka, was yesterday has said that the general elections scored low amongst Nigerians. He said it failed to meet the expectations of a substantial size of 200 million Nigerians. I'm not sure how he got that figure. Substantial is a heavy word to use, but that was his own position. He said that he was saying doing this message on Sunday, saying that the much-awaited elections, so full of promise, have come and gone. Well, not yet. Some might say the general elections was filled with so much enthusiasm and excitement, but now many Nigerians are looking very lowly and like they are mourning. They look like they're coming from a funeral with forlorn looks, who believe that justice had eluded them. Well, these are
I also took Cardinal Okpaleke, that's the Bishop of Ekulobia Diocese, Cardinal Okpaleke. He carpeted the central bank and said that the Naira redesign policy did not serve any purpose other than plunge the country into an economic hardship. He also encouraged Nigerians that, yes, this was a badly implemented policy that was in the economy and the hardship of Nigerians, but we've survived worse, and we can survive this again, and we'll continue to survive. We encourage us to be positive.
More on the Easter celebration and messages from our leaders. We had the Vice President, Yemi Osibajo, has said that Easter signifies sacrifice and amazing love. And he said that his own message is contained in the scripture, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. We also have Boss Mustafa, the secretary to the government, described Easter as an important season in the life of every Christian. And he says that there are 2 lessons for Nigerians to learn, the lessons of sacrifice and legacy. Christ came into the world, gave his life sacrificially for the redemption of mankind. And what that teaches us is that we must sacrifice for our communities and for our nation. So many other leaders also gave their messages of unity, love, and sacrifice.
Let me quickly take the story of the, there's clamoring for who will be, yes, the son of who will be our next Senate president. And a particular group of people, Niger Delta Peace and Development Advocates and South-South Youth, have said that they are supporting Chief Whip Dr. Orji Uzor Kalu, saying that this is a move that Nigeria needs a just man in the Senate and a man with the audacity of purpose and a team player to oversee its activity. They also mentioned that it would also help Nigerians heal from the feeling like help people from the South-South heal from the fact that they feel like they did not get into any political position because of the presidential aspirants, president-elect, and the fact that there's a Muslim ticket. Having a Christian who is from the South is also going to assuage that region. So those were their strong reasons for defending Senator Orji Uzor Kalu to become the next Senate president for Nigeria, and they are hoping that the president-elect will support his bid.
All right, let's move on quickly now to Vanguard. Supplementary polls, opposition parties rallied to seize control of National Assembly. JAMB to commence 2023 UTME April 25th. Nigerians frustrated by election outcome. Adesanya beats Pereira with stunning knockouts.
He beats Kubit.
Ex-AGF Ajibola dies at 89. And Financial Vanguard, federal government's initiatives on non-oil exports failing. Did you watch the match?
No, I can't.
No, we watched highlights. I watched
highlights. I love the highlights.
It's just the way Nigerians celebrate anybody that, when we celebrate our own.
But Israel is a peculiar character.
Thank you.
He's not every normal boxer. His own, the drama that comes, I don't miss the drama before, the drama after. Everything.
I find it hard to support him because he's such a boastful person. Oh my God.
Like,
he's not a Nigerian.
What did they knock you
Which
out?
Nigerian is not boastful?
No, please, we are not.
Which story I won't be taking here?
Okay, so the Nigerian Tribune investigation revealed that there are challenges with, let's say, thousands of bank customers have resorted to using
Tribune. Okay,
different...
tell us the story.
Oh,
go ahead. Tell us the story. Go ahead.
Payments services providers, and they have money stock. Fraudsters have taken over those platforms. He said there's an instance where someone pays upfront for services and they can't log in into their accounts, they can't authenticate their processes. It's almost as if most of this PSP, that's the payment services providers, have microfinance banks, listed within their apps. There are many issues within our banking system currently, and this our cashless policy is causing difficulties. And it seems like we don't have policies to protect citizens and customers from fraudsters. We need the government to look into it. That's basically the story.
I just wanted to say that JAMB has moved his dates for the next UTME. They are organizing the mock UTME.
Yes.
And that's just to prepare and test their centers. But for the main one, it's no longer April 29, it's now April 25th. So they moved it back. Nigerians, in case you're watching, please make sure you get updated.